This video is going to talk about the surf adapter from Waterborne. The main reason I purchased this was because of sharp, low-speed corners I would normally have to get off the board and kick it around, whereas now I'm able to take them with relative ease and not risk having to run off into maybe an oncoming cyclist or pedestrian, or in worst case even just grass, gravel or a fence. Corners like this, which are notoriously sharp and around areas where there's parks and people, before I would have to stop and get off the board, but now with this I can actually get around them fairly easily. Even going the other way, I'm able to stay within the lane with relative ease. Low speed shallow corners, where I would end up going too fast sometimes, would usually have me understeering off completely. Especially here, this used to be one of my most precarious corners, where here, if I was at full speed, it would be completely a lost cause and I would end up in that fence no problems. But other areas, like this S-bend, even at low speed, with normal trucks I wouldn't be able to make it. But coming through here at a bit faster than I really should have been, I still managed to stay on. But if I go at a normal speed, then it goes through and handles all the curves without any issue whatsoever. It's incredibly predictable, and even long winding curves like this, it manages to stay on the inside with relative ease. If I do overcook it, I risk running wide still, but if I behave myself and use appropriate speed, I can still go through comfortably. Even on 2-lane roads like this, I'm able to do a U-turn at slow speed and take up almost all of the lane, but in a best case, I can use maybe a lane and a half, somewhere around there. The other big benefit of the Waterborne surf adapter is high speed stability. So on this road, the speed limit is 40 kilometers an hour. At max speed here, I'm doing very much close to that, except a bit less because of all my gear, and there's no shuddering or wobble or any sort of instability at all. I even tried to kick around the deck a little bit, which is fundamentally stupid, but I was met with incredible stability, so I was happy and confident. Going around the roundabout, I had to brake down to about 20 kilometers an hour because I felt it trying to push into understeer territory. But again, it handled it very well. I would recommend the surf adapter to anyone who wants to have low speed turning abilities and who would like to not compromise their high speed stability for it. The only thing I would suggest is look at the extension bracket, especially in terms of an electric skateboard, because you're going to need it. I tried installing mine with just spacers, and every time I would, even at the most triangular configuration, let's say, would end up hitting the front wheels onto the battery compartment and having surprise brakes, which I do not recommend. In the end, I managed to DIY a extension bracket myself because I couldn't justify the $100 it would cost for a one from Waterborne shipped to Australia. And with 6mm of steel, it seems to be handling pretty well. I did also buy the rail adapter from Amazon, but I can't really recommend that, especially for people who want to use this adapter the way I ride and I use it as well. Mainly because the amount of movement it introduced into the deck itself was too much, and installing it, the hardware got very, very close to the motors, where it's not something you want to risk with. But it had a lot better clearance when I added a spacer. The only problem was that the overall level of the board was compromised, so even at a full stop, you could hear the motors working extremely hard trying to stay still. Overall, the front surf adapter from Waterborne is amazing. I regret not getting it sooner, and I regret spending the money on the rail adapter, but with Amazon's return policies, hopefully I shouldn't be out of pocket. In any case, thank you for watching.